Swami. My name is Prem Nunna from South Africa, Johannesburg. And Samarpan, I've been in Samarpan meditation for 4 years. Initially, I've been to one of the yoga sessions in Pretoria, and they got my email ID and phone numbers. And from there, our country head Pravesh took the email IDs and broadcasted one of the video shivirs in 2016. And then it's like 20-25 days before I got the email. And then I thought, maybe I should attend the meditation. Until then, I don't know meditation, what is the meditation and what is the benefits of meditation. I don't have any idea about it. And then eventually I put that into my memory, into the Outlook reminders. And then I've been keep on getting the reminders like 10 days before and 7 days before and 1 day before, like that. And then I've kept on contacting my friends, let's go for a meditation. And then everybody said, everybody will come by the end of the, if the session is starting tomorrow, then everybody says you go on the first day and then we'll join you on the second day. And then I was dilly-dallying between whether to go or not to go, and then ultimately my destiny was written, and then I attended that session. On the day one, I went there and then I felt very good. And then before going there, I was thinking that Swamiji is coming to South Africa, but to my, when I reached there, and it's a couple of sadhaks, already they were in South African sadhaks, and then one TV was laid, and so that, I came to know that this is going to be a video shivir. So then I sat there, and first day I was very much, I felt good, and then good vibrations. And then I was thinking in my mind, like going back is not the exact secured route. So I decided, on the day itself, before finishing, and then I decided that I'm not going to come from tomorrow. And then as the day one finished, I was leaving the door, and Pravesh came to me and said, Prem, you're going to be okay, and then the roads are very good, I know that, and you will be safe and secured. But to my shock, every South African knows that, after 10 o'clock, the roads will be quite unsecured. And so I reached my home, and I had my dinner, and I told my wife, I felt very good, but it's a very dangerous road, so I don't want to go. And then next day, in my mind, the whole day I went to the office, and then I kept on thinking myself, I'm a devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba, and I've always thought to myself is Sadguru and Guru, everything is Shirdi Sai Baba. And then the evening part came, and then I had to go for the second day. And again, like day one, I was dilly-dallying whether to go or not to go. And then as soon as I entered into the room, and Pravesh came in front of me and said, oh, you came, and then I thought you were not coming. And then immediately, without I'm saying anything, he said that, today Shirdi Sai Baba and our Swamiji is the same Shiva Krupananda Swamiji, they follow each other. And then it was shocking for me, because, whatever I'm thinking the whole day, 24 hours, and then the words came out of Pravesh. So that's when it started, and then the second day I felt very good, and the whole shivir I felt good vibrations, and I got connected to Samarpan family. And then I did the 45 days Anustan, and then it carried on, and then the Shirdi, I came to Shirdi, mahashibir, and I felt very, very, really, it was good, because I was in the presence of Sadguru and Swamiji. So it was like a big opportunity for me to be there in Shirdi for like 10 days. And then if it comes to the experiences, I have lots of them, from these 4 years, there are countless, I can say, there are countless experiences and Anubhutis happened to me. And one of these, I'll share it with you very recently. I came to International Retreat 2019 to Rajkot now. I'll tell you that story. As soon as I started from Johannesburg, the flight got delayed by 1 hour. and then we thought, I had a break of 3 hours in the next transit. So I thought, I'll make it, and then I made it, and then we stayed there for 2 hours, and then the next flight took off at the, started the same time at 1:30 in the night. And then I thought everything was okay. Flight came onto the runway, and everything was like, in next 30 seconds it's going to be taken off. And then all of a sudden they said, due to the bad weather, we are not going to take off today, now. So they halted there. The flight was on the runway for next 2 hours, and we were all sitting in the aeroplane. After 2 hours, pilot announced that, still the weather is bad, so we are towing the taxi to the terminal. So we stayed there another 2.5 hours there. So ultimately I have got 4.5 hours wasted in my transit, and the next transit is about 6 hours in Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So we stayed there, and then I was thinking, I didn't have any negative thoughts or something. I'm sure that pretty much I'll make it, or Swamiji will look after that. So I have no tensions. And we took off, and then we came late by 4.5 hours, and then in Mumbai there was a huge queue in immigration side. So I was just talking to one of the ladies at the back, and then she asked me, where are you going and what? And I told her, I have a flight to catch to Ahmedabad, and she asked me what time, and 6 o'clock. By the time we were discussing, the time was 4:30. So you can imagine the Mumbai traffic during the day, peak day, and at 4:30, so it will be chaos. You have to transit from international terminal to the national terminal, domestic terminal. So she insisted me to ask one of the guys to take the help to speed up my immigration process, and then I said, they're not going to listen to me, and they don't take it personal. So I said, no, I don't want to ask. And then she insisted, and she called one of the guys, and she said, you must release him immediately, because has got a flight to catch at 6 o'clock. And to my surprise, they didn't even ask me what flight and who is going and things. He just opened the next first class and business class immigration services, and then he let me go. And then my visa, my passport has been stamped. I cleared the immigration. I went to the luggage, and then I took my luggage. By the time it was already 4:40, and then I went to the lifts and then asked the guys, the prepaid taxis to go to the terminal, and they said, you have to go two floors down. And then to my surprise, when I pressed the lift, and then it went up to the 10th floor and came down. And again I lost another 10 minutes in that. So it's like 4:50. Now I came downstairs and then booked my prepaid taxi. And then to my surprise, again there is a test from Swamiji, and the printer got stuck, and I couldn't get the slip to go and sit in my taxi to get onto the terminal, domestic terminal. So then I had to wait for another 10 minutes. So by the time it is already 4:55 or so around, and then I went to one of the taxi drivers and I asked him, can we make it? I have a flight in 1 hour's time. Then he said, with my experience, you won't be able to make it. And then I still at the time I was laughing, and I don't have any tensions in my mind. And then I sat in the taxi, and then within 10 minutes we reached the airport. And then from there is a big queue of the travelers checking into the travel counters. And then I didn't ask anyone, and one guy came up to me and then he asked me, where are you going? And then I said, Ahmedabad. What time is the flight? And then I said 6 o'clock, and then the time is around 5:10. And then he directed me to one of the desks, and then he cleared, he got my boarding pass in 2 minutes. And then I cleared, and then I went upstairs to check into my gates. And before that, we need to go through the security checks. The security checks will take a lot of time. And then I was waiting, and then I thought it's a big line, and then it was already 5:15. And then to my shocking, in next 10 minutes I cleared my security, and I went to my gate. And then I thought to myself, I'm reached now, and there is another test again. Everybody sees that the gate 29 is for the flight 29. I'm the only one, in the last 10 minutes I was looking at the board, and Ahmedabad was displaying number 22. I don't know why I saw 22. And then I run up to the 22 and it's not the proper gate, so I had to run back again. So these kind of tests will happen, and by the time you have I reached again 29, gate number 29, and then I could catch the flight, and then I was visiting other places like Somnath, Dwarka and all, and everything happened very seamlessly. So sometimes we get the test. The thing is, experiences and coincidences, and the people and those who are not experiencers, they'll say it is a coincidence, but I would say there is a big difference between coincidence and experience, because if it is a coincidence, I would have tensed since the night before, because when the flight got delayed I should be tensed, and then I don't have a tension for not even a second. So that's experience, that's Anubhuti. Sai Baba swami.
चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और हाँ, बेल आइकॉन को प्रेस करके नोटिफिकेशन ऑन करना ना भूलें।